Hello my fellow dreamers, welcome back to my channel. I've shared a lot of videos about obtaining information from your dreams. And yes, it is definitely possible to get any information that you are seeking while you are in the dream state. But what if I told you that you can get information on things that almost nobody knows about? I stumbled upon this without even trying to do it. And in today's video, I'd like to share with you one of the first and most profound dream experiences where I obtained secret information that only a few people knew about. And this one is actually pretty funny, so I hope you watch until the end. So this dream happened many years ago when I was working at a gym. This was within the first few months of me starting work there, and I had just made friends with everybody in my department. This is also when I started doing medical Qigong training and Buddhist meditation techniques quite seriously. So these two things may have played a role in the experience that I'm about to share with you. One night, I had a dream that I was in the office where I was working. This dream was nearly identical to waking life. I was sitting in the office with my manager speaking to her about what was going to happen in the next few days. As we were chatting, I noticed that somebody approached the door and it was another worker who had come to ask us some questions. She knocked on the door, opened it up, and showed us her feet. As she lifted up her foot, I noticed that she had two of her toes webbed together. I found this quite strange because she straight up walked into the office, took off her flip-flops, and showed us her feet. In the dream, I began to laugh. I looked at my manager, she laughed, and the dream ended. And to ensure maximum precision, I want you all to know that this specific dream happened on Wednesday, May 18th, 2016. As always, I wrote the dream down in as much detail as possible and moved on. A few weeks later, on Saturday, June 4th, 2016, I was at work and I walked into the office to speak with my manager exactly how I did in the dream state, but this was in waking life. So just for the record, this was 17 days after I had that dream. When I got into the office, I was talking to my manager and explaining what I had been doing in the medical Qigong classes I was taking at the time. My manager was confused as to what medical Qigong was, and she couldn't really pronounce the word Qigong as well. So I explained to her what we had done in one of my most recent classes, which involved using our hands and our own senses to find out what was wrong with the patient as we scanned them. So she interpreted this as some sort of psychic or intuitive work in order to find out what might be wrong with a particular patient that we were dealing with. This was when my manager brought up her beliefs about being skeptical towards psychic abilities and any human that claimed to have psychic abilities. I laughed when she said this, and I mentioned that it was completely normal to feel skeptical towards these practices. And this is where stuff began to get crazy. As I was talking to her, and I was laughing and she was laughing, I remembered the dream that I had just a few weeks ago. My manager began to say that her parents were coming to the gym to see how she was doing because they hadn't seen each other in a long time. The conversation kept going on, but I felt like some sort of weird deja vu was happening. All of a sudden, we hear a knock on the office door. And it's that worker that I saw in the dream a few weeks ago. Before my manager let her come into the office, she tells her to wait a second. And this is where it got insane. In these brief moments before the co-worker was let into the office, my manager starts telling me that her mom is nervous to step onto the pool deck for something, but I interrupt my manager and tell her that I had a dream a few weeks ago about me and her sitting in the office, talking and laughing, with that co-worker walking up to the door. And I say to my manager that the co-worker walked in, lifted up her foot, and showed us her toes, having two of them webbed together. My manager looks at me with her jaw dropping and nearly hitting the floor. I'm getting chills already just thinking about this because it was so insane. My manager tells me that her mom has two toes that are webbed together and she's super nervous and self-conscious about walking on the pool deck in flip-flops in case other people see it. She looks at me and says, "Adrian, how the hell do you know this if you never met my parents before?" I looked at her and laughed and said, "I have no idea. I have these dreams and I write down whatever I see. But do you believe in psychic abilities now?" I then said, "If the coworker walks in here and shows us her new flip-flops, I am going to crap my pants." And guys, my manager let the worker into the office and the first thing she did was show us her new flip-flops. I looked at my manager, she looked at me, and I said to her again, "Do you now have any skepticism towards psychic abilities. She looked at me and said, "Adrian, you are incredible." My coworker walked into the office and she started laughing once we told her the entire story as well. So just to do a quick recap here, I had that dream on Wednesday, May 18th, 2016. This experience happened on June 4th, 2016. So it was 17 days later. I had no freaking idea that my manager's parents were going to come to the pool deck, that my manager's mom had the web toe that nobody knew about, and my manager specifically said only her and her other family members knew about this. Her mom had never said it to anybody else. We were also having a conversation about skepticism towards psychic abilities, and then this happened right after. And to top it all off, the coworker walked into the office, lifted her foot up, and showed us her new flip-flops. The dream that I had 2 weeks prior to this moment literally showed me every single thing that was going to happen 2 weeks in advance. I had never met my manager's parents. I had no idea that the coworker got new flip-flops, and I had no idea that we were going to have that specific conversation on that specific day. So this is what I mean when I say that your dreams can give you information about the future, and they can give you secret information that not many people are aware of. But what I still think about is, how the hell did this actually happen? Did my mind go 2 weeks into the future and perceive that this was going to happen? Was it obtained through light waves entering my brain? Was it obtained through my soul, leaving my body at night, going ahead in time? Or was it some other way that I'm not even aware of? No matter what the explanation is, I know that this happened. My manager knows that this happened, and my coworker knows that this happened. We were all there in that very moment, and we all participated in this crazy experience. And this is why I'm also telling you guys that if you want to have these same dream experiences, and if you like to obtain the higher functioning parts of your brain, your mind, and your soul, you have to incorporate some sort of meditation, breathing exercises, or something like that in order to achieve it. My manager and I are very close friends to this very day, and that particular dream experience played a huge role in us bonding and becoming very good friends. This is why I always tell you guys to just start writing your dreams down, because you can obtain information from the past, present, and future, and they will help you in ways that you have never imagined. So tell me what you think about this experience in the comments below, and let me know if you've experienced anything similar. I hope you have learned something from this video, and thank you so much for watching as well. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so we can keep on learning about our dreams together. And until next time, sweet dreams.